Tonight on CTV3 News, we start off with a deadly traffic accident in the south where a man is taken into custody. He was driving the vehicle that killed a 38-year-old Belizean Brandon Alex Coleman. In the community of Placencia, a man is detained after a Ziploc bag containing cannabis is found hidden in his refrigerator. The proposed acquisition of Smart by BTL continues to receive opposition. And here in the north, BTIA meets with stakeholders to talk tourism. What are the challenges and opportunities? We'll tell you. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Friday, February 20th, 2026.
From whiskeys and wines to elegantly crafted cocktails. Paired with charcuterie boards and perfectly seasoned steak bites, and much more. Perfect for celebrations, quiet nights, and every special occasion in between. 7 Notes Wine and Spirits, where every sip hits the right note.
ExpressNet now has up to 400 megabytes of high-speed internet. Choose the speed that fits you. From faster browsing to faster gaming. Connect more devices at once. Or bundle it with Express Plus and HBO Max. Internet and streaming entertainment, all in one.
Yeah, faster starts here.
Sign up today at any Centaur office or contact us to get started.
We recently formed MOUs with the American Hotel and Lodging Education Institute, which is the education arm of the American Hotel and Lodging Association, and also with the American Culinary Federation to do culinary training. We're here to celebrate our accomplishments. This is not about replacing Belizean cuisine. This is about, we want the Belizean cuisine, we want the Belizean richness and diversity, right? So this is about your skills. You all know what you all learned, so it's about transferring that skill.
We want to inspire this career because, you know, it's amazing. You love what you do, right? And it really is something that I think we can inspire other young Belizeans to undertake. And it's now part of your responsibility as those who have received this training and see a pathway for greater things.
Just to put it into perspective, there's only about 6,000 certified executive chefs in North America. There is only 69 certified master chefs in the world. There is less than 10 certified executive pastry chefs in this entire world. And now in Belize, we have 3 sitting in this room.
The Orange Walk Town Council is inviting applications from suitably qualified and motivated individuals to fill 5 garbage fee collector positions within our revenue department. Minimum requirements: high school diploma, friendly and people-oriented personality, tech-savvy, must own reliable transportation, preferably a motorcycle, honest and dependable. Interested applicants are asked to submit the following documents: application letter, copy of high school diploma, valid social security card, 2 character references. Applications must be submitted in person to the Orange Walk Town Council office by February 20th, 2026. Join our team and contribute to keeping Orange Walk clean and organized.
Good evening, with your newscast also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Jaden Games. A man has been taken into custody as authorities continue their investigation into a deadly traffic incident that occurred in the Stan Creek district, resulting in the death of a 38-year-old motorcyclist. The incident happened on Thursday, February 19th, around 2:05 p.m. on Big Creek Road. Responding officers arrived at the scene to find Brandon Alex Coleman, a self-employed Belizean, lying unconscious and suffering from multiple injuries. Nearby, a heavily damaged motorcycle and a vehicle with noticeable damage were recovered. Preliminary reports indicate that Coleman was heading westward along Big Creek Road when a Ford Explorer, driven by 65-year-old Jess Kristen Beach of Monkey River Road, attempted to make a left turn into a parking area. The maneuver led to a collision with Coleman's motorcycle. Emergency services rushed Coleman to the Independence Polyclinic in critical condition. He was subsequently transferred to the Southern Regional Hospital, where he tragically succumbed to his injuries. Authorities have detained Beach as they continue to sift through evidence and determine the circumstances surrounding the crash. In a recent operation, authorities apprehended a man in connection with the drug possession and distribution. The incident occurred on Thursday, February 19th, around 8:15 p.m., when police officers on mobile patrol in Placencia Village stopped and searched an individual along the main road. The suspect, a Caucasian male, identified himself as Rob Stanton Olive of St. Bite Village. During the search, officers discovered a small transparent plastic bag containing approximately 14.14 grams of cocaine in the man's hand. Following this discovery, police obtained and executed a search warrant at Olive's residence in St. Bite Village. During the search, officers uncovered a transparent Ziploc bag filled with 16 grams of cannabis stored inside a freezer. Rob Stanton Olive was taken into custody and formally charged with possession of controlled substances with the intent to supply to others. The proposed acquisition of Smart by Belize Telemedia Limited, or BTL, has been placed on pause following mounting public concern and pushback from various stakeholders. Prime Minister John Briceño announced that the process would be temporarily halted to allow for broader consultations and a clearer public understanding of the proposed deal. The decision came amid debate over the potential impact of the acquisition on competition, consumer choice, and the overall structure of Belize's telecommunications sector. While the Prime Minister framed the pause as an opportunity for dialogue and transparency, the National Evangelical Association of Belize, NEAB, signaled that its position remains unchanged. Speaking on the matter today, NEAB representatives said that they are unconcerned with the temporary halt or any consultations that may follow, maintaining firm opposition to what they view as the monopolization of the communications sector. NABE argued that competition is essential for fair pricing, innovation, and accountability, and expressed concern that a single dominant provider could negatively affect consumers and the wider economy.
Well, like I said, regardless of consultation, regardless of price valuation, regardless of there could be a listing of 50 different things that they're going to do. We are not interested in a monopoly telecommunications. It's the end result of a monopoly telecommunications is going to be things will start to become sloppy because competition keeps the market pure, right? And then the prices are going to be raised. Somebody's going to have to pay for this.
As the debate continues, the future of the proposed acquisition remains uncertain, with the issue now squarely in the realm of public scrutiny and national discussion. The government of Belize is moving ahead with the launch of the National Bus Company, with the first phase of implementation set to begin at the start of March. The initiative marks a major shift in the country's public transportation system, as the government works to centralize operations under a single national framework. Officials say the phased rollout is designed to ensure a smooth transition while minimizing disruption to commuters who rely daily on bus services across the country. Speaking on the ongoing transition process, Minister of Transport Louis Zabané explained that for the first few months, the National Bus Company will be comprised of the same buses and operators currently servicing established routes. However, these operators will undergo structured training aimed at improving customer service, safety standards, scheduling efficiency, and regulatory compliance.
So we have two main facilities, one that Westline has at Mile 1, and that one will continue to be improved. No, right here on the right here near Belize City, 1 mile, they have a facility there. So we will just allow the other buses, well, they're all under National Bus Company now, to come and use that facility. We're going to be improving what needs to be improved there. And we also have a facility for James in Punta Gorda. So we will also be utilizing that. Remember that between now and September, they're the same buses and practically the same staff, drivers, conductors, etc., that will be carrying out pretty much the same routes.
So it's likely that when the transitional team selects and hires and so some of those same people will stay?
Absolutely. In fact, we insist that we want to give everybody that's in there now the first option, the first opportunity to continue with the National Bus Company. Now they all know that they have to engage in training, in understanding the values and the principles of National Bus Company, and that is something that we are preparing now for the transitional period. That's going to be integral to this transition.
Minister Zabané noted that early phase will focus on strengthening oversight and standardizing operations before larger structural changes take effect.
Well, yeah, so we have continuously shared and continuously started to enforce more as we go along, because it's a function too of our capacity to enforce. We were fortunate we got support from Cabinet to increase our enforcement staff from 42 to 200. And we expect that would be going on gradually in the new fiscal year as those funds come on stream. A part of how we're going to do it now would be more like the police or the BDF, right, where you have to apply and then you also have to go through training. All the present wardens across the country are doing that. They are getting trained, something that had never happened before. And this is going to be part and parcel of how persons now become wardens to go out there to enforce the traffic laws.
And when they're out there, they will treat the NBC buses the same as...
Absolutely. But the NBC buses will have another layer of monitoring, because what we are installing in each of the buses, we will have cameras that show in the front of the bus and inside the bus. We're able to track the speed of each bus. We're able to to look at the performance of the driver of those buses in terms of timeliness, stopping unnecessarily on the road, etc. So we have a control room that's being established right now in Belmopan, where we can see we'll be able to see all of the buses along the road, wherever they are, and we can also get information that helps us with the monitoring of the, say, when tires are needed to be replaced, how fuel is being used, etc.
We're talking.
Looking ahead, the minister announced that by September, the transition to electric buses will formally begin. Over the course of approximately 1 year, the fleet is expected to gradually convert to e-buses, marking a significant move toward modernizing Belize's public transportation and reducing environmental impact.
About for all the existing diesel buses, they will have the GPS and
Yes, we are
as
getting,
of March 1st?
no, they're going to be installed that's why we have the transition period. So over that period that is happening, we have already talked with Digi because they are the ones doing the pilot for the cashless system that you see here in Belize City with the 2 electric buses. That is going to be put out across the country as well. There'll be a lot of publicity about it so commuters can understand how that will work. And then, because that requires also that type of technology, trucking and so forth, we'll be able to track the buses as well. So that is to be in place certainly by August of this year. Now the new electric buses start to come in batches as of September, and until December of 2027, we expect then that the entire diesel fleet will be fully replaced by electric buses.
The shift to electric buses, however, will require substantial financial investment. Minister Zabane acknowledged that the transition will not be a cheap venture. He stressed that the formation of a unified national bus company makes the transition feasible.
It's not a cheap venture, but fortunately a company now of about 50 million as an opening balance sheet now has the capacity to do that. Each operator, you could see why they would never be able to, contemplate such an investment. So that can be done because we're looking at a 15-year term for the financing, in which the first 5 years would be interest only, and then principal and interest going forward from there. We're also looking to, because there are opportunities for grants for transitioning from diesel to electric buses. So we have options like the Green Climate Fund. We're discussing with the European Union and of course with our partners in Taiwan. So it's possible. Until we actually have the bird in hand, we won't be able to say in detail, but we are working vigorously to see to what extent we can get a grant component that will offset the high cost of the buses. But even without the grant, the model is very, very robust and strong at the full cost of electric buses.
Okay, I know.
The government maintains that the overall objective is to create a more efficient, safer, and environmentally responsible public transport system, one that delivers improved service to commuters while positioning Belize's transportation sector for the future. Coming up next, the government and faith leaders unite in historic church-state retreat to strengthen national development and social cohesion. Stay tuned.
Registering the debt of a person is a crucial legal done through the Civil Registry Department and Vital Statistics Unit, which allows you to obtain an official debt certificate. The new Civil Registry and Vital Statistics System, CRVS, makes it easy. Register online or visit an office countrywide. The debt registration process involves providing the necessary details about the deceased and the details of their debt. Register a debt promptly to avoid any delays or additional fees for late registration. Who can register a debt? Any person with an original medical certificate for the cause of debt, MCCD, issued by the medical facility certifying the debt. The new CRVS, digitally connecting citizens to all vital statistics services. Visit crvs.gov.bz to complete the debt registration process with ease and care.
There's a saying I often return to, and that is a Chinese saying, that says, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Today, Belize chooses now because Belize has always lived under the shade of the tree. Remember Sobumbre Floreo. Our forests, mangroves, rivers, and farms are not just features of our landscape, they are part of who we are as a people. They protect us from storms, feed our families, support livelihoods, and anchor our resilience in a changing climate. But we also know this truth. What we do not protect, we will eventually lose.
Greening Belize, 1 million trees for climate and sustainable development. Our forest cover is declining, especially after the fire season. What will be achieved? Restore and reforested lands, significant increase in hectares restored by 2035. Enhance carbon sequestration. We'll have improved data, mapping, and reporting systems with this. Institutional readiness, feasibility study and design for a national forestry incentive program, community mobilization, which will build capacity and increase participation nationally, and improve governance.
For all environmentally conscious individuals and groups, CBOs, NGOs, community organizations, universities, come in to do their part to plant trees to assist in the restoration initiative for the country of Belize.
Christopher Coy has officially been appointed as the nation's special envoy for finance and investments. This announcement was made through a formal notice published in the Belize Gazette. The appointment, authenticated by Governor General Froya Salam on February 9, 2026, commenced retroactively from January 1st and is slated to last for a 4-year term. This role grants Coy the authority to represent the Belizean government in matters concerning financial policy and investment initiatives. The official document urges all relevant agencies to assist Coy in his duties and to provide the necessary privileges to enable him to perform effectively under the auspices of the Ministry of Finance, Investment, Economic Transformation, Civil Aviation, and E-Governance. This development follows Coy's resignation from his position as Minister of State in the Ministry of Finance in September 2025. His departure came just 7 months after he re-entered the Briceño administration, having previously served in the government. Despite stepping down from his ministerial role, Coy continues to serve as a senator aligned with the Briceño-led administration, maintaining his influence within Belize's political landscape. A concerted effort to invigorate the region's tourism sector, the Belize Tourism Industry Association, BTIA, in collaboration with the Belize Tourism Board, BTB, is currently holding its 4th destination engagement session with representatives and stakeholders of the 10 chapters of the institution. In the case of Orange Walk, the sessions was held yesterday. The gathering brought together key stakeholders from the private sector to discuss ways to enhance the district's tourism offerings and develop strategic partnerships aimed at sustainable growth. The forum also served as a vital platform for industry leaders to exchange ideas, identify opportunities, and address challenges facing Orange Walk's tourism industry.
It's really an open forum, more than anything else, where we're explaining what are our vision for 2026, where we're going in terms of training, in terms of marketing, and advocacy also on behalf of our stakeholders. Last night was very successful. I think we had roughly around about 25 stakeholders that came out, and we had a conversation with them in terms of those training areas that we're looking at that are deficient in the industry that we haven't done for quite a while, including like housekeeping trainings, waiter service trainings, And then we also are looking at customer service. We've been trained regionally under the service best training, which is a customer service for frontline, which is recognized throughout the Central American region. And that is one of the trainings that we're going to be bringing across to our members over the course of 2026, including other initiatives in terms of travel trade that we want to also venture in, which is the Central American travel market, one of the largest within the region. And then there is a travel show also that's being organized through the Mundo Maya. And all of these play a big role because regionally we have to start to look at alternative markets for stakeholders.
As it relates to challenges faced by stakeholders, the issues range from infrastructure to health and wellness and even garbage, as is the case for Orange Walk.
Orange Walk, yesterday they were talking about the garbage conditions. We had the presence of two of the councillors there, and so they said that it is an ongoing issue. BTB also has campaigns when it comes to garbage and taking pride in your environment, and something that we feel we can tap into now and create a greater platform for people to understand the need of why it is important to keep your destinations clean. They mentioned that there's not enough garbage dumps.
Okay.
The other area, I'm not sure if it's because the collection is not done regularly.
Okay.
Then you have issues that dogs go and and then there are policies in place whereby you have to have your garbage bag, and so they won't pick it up if it's not bagged. And so those are challenges that we were seeing. There was one stakeholder that also mentioned that she bags her stuff, but if the dogs don't come and rip it across, then probably the homeless people would come and tear it across.
Yeah.
And so it becomes a challenge not only for those that are trying to keep the destination clean, but also those that are managing the pickup of the garbage at the destinations.
And in order to find a solution to those challenges, the BTIA holds meetings with the relevant partners.
Strategically try to meet with the persons who are interested or who have some level of the ability to make decisions. And so a friend sits on the BTB board.
Okay.
So if it's a BTB issue, then he would of course bring that to the table when he's at his meetings. We have so far held meetings with Ministry of Health because there are definitely some key health concerns across the spectrum. We have a meeting scheduled with the environment so that we can discuss the environmental issues. We BTIA sits on a lot of different national boards, so that gives us a voice. So when we're in these meetings and decisions are being made, the information that we get allow us to contribute meaningfully to those discussions. So these sessions are really important because it gives us a head start and we really get a feel for what the needs of the industry are.
Right, because
This initiative underscores ongoing efforts to position Orange Walk as a competitive and appealing destination within Belize's vibrant tourism landscape. Of Constitution and Religious Affairs, Indigenous Affairs and Transportation hosted its church-state retreat this morning in Belize City, bringing together faith leaders and government representatives for dialogue on national development and key social issues. The retreat, led by Minister Louis Zabane, provided a structured forum for engagement with leaders from various Christian denominations and faith-based organizations. The initiative underscored the ministry's continued commitment to inclusive governance and strengthening partnerships between the state and religious communities. Discussions covered recent and upcoming legislative matters, as well as broader social issues affecting families and communities across the country. Organizers said that the goal was not only to inform, but to foster meaningful dialogue that strengthens mutual understanding and cooperative action.
So we're having a retreat with the Christian community, and that includes the traditional Council of Churches and the evangelical churches. So at this retreat, we are looking in more detail on priority areas of partnership that we hope to work on as in a particular plan going forward, church and state. So that's the objective of this retreat.
Are there any concerns that they have in particular at this point?
No, I think they have some very good ideas on expanding the traditional church state in the education area, which we have always been doing for decades. But they want to look at how else can they become more involved on community areas, areas that have to do with security, etc. So we want to explore those other areas.
The initiative, according to President of the National Evangelical Association of Belize, highlights the importance of maintaining a respectful and transparent relationship between church and state, particularly in matters that impact social policy and community well-being.
Well, it's one of those deals where we're fortunate to have a country that the government partner with the church, which is, I think, is proper order based on our constitution and the very preamble of our constitution. And some of the inputs that I believe the church has to offer where legislations are concerned, because there are certain things that the government, certain bills and so forth, that maybe government want to push through certain things. We got to be the fiduciary of morality as the church. And so I'm hoping that together we could come up with an amicable solution to have a good, healthy balance where government church is concerned when it comes to the entire running of the nation and the bills being passed in the House and so forth, and how it will affect everybody, not just the church, but everybody.
So is there
that ongoing dialogue ensures faith-based perspectives are heard while reinforcing the shared responsibility of nation building?
Well, we have been there. Of course, we've been opposing some of the bills, not because of trying to be against the government. We're not against government. The church and the government have the same heart. I believe the government wants the best for the country. So does the church. That's what we do. There are certain issues like we have the equal opportunity bill thing there that has some clauses in there that wasn't completely clear. So we have to try and get the government, see if we could suggest how we could clarify these bills. Because there are certain things that are it's there. We agree on. And we could say yes to them. But there are others that it doesn't just go over so easily. And we have a team of us, and we lean a whole lot, myself as the president, lean a whole lot on people like my colleague, my vice president, Pastor Scott. We have our senator, Pastor Wade. And then we have people that could interpret these bills that are being passed. And then when it is interpreted and we understand how it's interpreted, we could decide, do we want to push this through or not? Some of it is ABC, no, that is a no-go, right? Others are, let's get what they are trying to say, break it down, and then we could conclude and say, yes, this is right or not.
The Church-State Retreat formed part of broader efforts to encourage collaborations across sectors, reinforcing shared values and strengthening collective responses to the challenges facing Belize. In a momentous ceremony held yesterday, Belize officially recognized the outstanding service of Lily Li Wen, the ambassador of the Republic of China, Taiwan, by awarding her one of the nation's most prestigious honors. The presentation was made by Governor General Dame Froyal Salam, who conferred the Order of Distinction upon Ambassador Su in appreciation of her efforts to bolster diplomatic relations and contribute to Belize's developmental goals. During the ceremony, Dame Salam expressed gratitude for Belize's unwavering support of Taiwan on the international stage, highlighting the significance of this alliance.
We live in a time where physical boundaries are no longer limitations to nation building. Citizens of other countries have shown their love and respect for the Belizean people by going above and beyond their normal duties to develop the bonds of international fraternity. Today, we publicly acknowledge the contribution of one such individual who has listened and supported our people in national development. Each activity she worked on has built on the work of her predecessors, bringing visions to reality. As such, this award is a small gesture of acknowledgement and gratitude from the people of Belize to someone who has rendered outstanding and meritorious service to our country. Thank you, Ambassador Lily Li Wenshu, for your dedication to your country, Republic of China, Taiwan, and to ours, Belize.
An emotional moment unfolded as Ambassador Su announced her upcoming departure from Belize, citing that the recent loss of her mother as the reason for her early exit. She also took the opportunity to request continued backing for her successor, who is preparing for his third mission in Belize.
I'm deeply grateful and humbled to receive this significant honor. By Wednesday next week, I will have served in this position for 3 years. How time flies. It has been a great privilege to serve my country and work with our Belizean friends to deepen the bonds between our two nations. The past 3 years have been an inspiring and rewarding experience for me. I arrived in this beautiful jewel by the end of the pandemic. It is inspiring to see how the country has bounced back through the great efforts of the government and the people. It is inspiring to learn how the country works hard to protect its green and blue space and endeavors to strike the balance between environmental stewardship and economic development. Taiwan is proud to be a development partner of Belize in its transformative journey, and I feel privileged to play a part in it. It is in this togetherness spirit I would like to ask for your continuous support to my successor, Ambassador-designate Amino G. Ambassador G is no stranger to Belize. This will be his third tour to serve at our embassy here. I have every confidence. With his rich experience and great energy, our partnership will continue to grow from strength to strength.
The Order of Distinction is a recognition awarded to individuals, both nationals and foreigners, whose exceptional contributions have significantly advanced Belize's development and international relations. There is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
They got so much things to say right now. They got so much things to say.
The way some people are talking you'd never know, but the most blatant nepotism and fleecing of BTL took place under UDP when Dean Barrow was Prime Minister. Barrow placed his son Anwar on BTL's board in 2009 as soon as he nationalized the company, which would eventually cost Belizeans almost $650 million for shares barely worth $200 million. By 2014, Anwar was appointed executive chairman with extravagant salary and perks. Under him, BTL spent wildly on ventures that did not materialize and never brought any returns. Under the Barrows, BTL's profits plummeted from $38 million in 2009 to $17 million in 2019, and $10 million in 2020, as the company hardly paid dividends to government and people of Belize. Anwar Barrow has no moral authority to talk about BTL, as it was under his nepotistic rule, appointed by his father, that BTL was most blatantly fleeced.
They got so much things to say right now. They got so much things to say.
basketball fans, the NBA season is back and more electrifying than ever.
Forever.
Witness every battle, every dunk, and every overhead and back pass with Centaur's Express Plus app. This season is a must-watch event packed with heart-stopping moments and unforgettable plays. Don't miss out. Stream all the action live on the Centaur's Express Plus app.
Hey, drop James Harden's ass!
Express Plus, your front row seat to the 2025 NBA season.
Finally, a postpaid plan for 3 people. Introducing Smart Trio. Why pay for mobile service alone when you can share and save? Get unlimited national calls, texts, plus 100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part? It's only $135. That's right, as low as $45 per person. Perfect for small families, couples, or close friends. Smart Trio, 3 lines, 1 smart choice. Sign up now and you could win a Trio getaway to San Pedro for 3. Visit us at www.smart-bz.com for more information or sign up at any showroom today. Smart, bringing people together.
This building that we have gotten, the Welcome Center, is not just walls and it's not just here to beautify the Punta Gorda town and as an extension the Toledo district and Belize, but it's also here to play a main purpose and a role, and that is to continue to promote our tourism sector in Belize.
This provides us a platform and a venue for us to be able to do multiple things in working towards enhancing the tourism environment in Toledo and really showcasing it not only to locals but also to our international guests, which are paramount for us to continue to grow this industry.
This project, like others that we're working on throughout the country, was designed and is being delivered by Belizeans. We have spoken to the communities, we've spoken to tourism stakeholders and what needs to be done to ensure that we have the necessary infrastructure to improve the quality of the visitor experience.
Senior officials from the Ministry of Education, including Diane Mahea, Chief Executive Officer, along with Honorable Andre Perez, Air Representative for Belize Rural South, recently met with representatives of the Keycocker Village Council and the Ocean Academy Board of Governors to discuss the pre-primary and high school construction projects taking place on Keycocker under the Belize Education Sector Reform Program number 2. The meeting provided an opportunity to discuss the projects, which will commence shortly, and to discuss the temporary reallocation of Ocean Academy students. Participants focus on practical alternatives to ensure that students continue receiving quality instruction in a safe and supportive environment while the new facilities are being completed. All stakeholders shared their perspectives with a common commitment to placing students' well-being and educational needs at the center of every decision. The ministry remains dedicated to working closely with the community to ensure that the completed projects will ultimately provide improved learning spaces for Keycocker's students. The Belize's National Anti-Money Laundering Committee will convene its 3rd annual Anti-Money Laundering and Combating the Finance of Terrorism, AML/CFT, conference from February 23rd to the 25th in 2026 at the Belize Civic Center. This year's hybrid event, accommodating both in-person and virtual participation, is expected to host over 300 in-person attendees and 200 virtual participants, including compliance officers, regulatory authorities, law enforcement personnel, and other key public and private sector stakeholders. The conference provides a platform for Belizean and international experts to discuss the latest developments, challenges, and best practices in anti-money laundering, counterfeiting finance of terrorism, and counterfeiting proliferation finance, AML, CFT, and CPF crime. The conference will feature remarks from Senator Honorable Christopher Coy and the Charge the Affairs of the U.S. Embassy, Catherine Beamer. Established on February 7, 2014, NAMLC serves as Belize's primary domestic coordination and cooperation mechanism for AML, CFT, and CPF. The committee provides strategic advice to the Minister of Finance and the detection and prevention of money laundering, terrorist financing, and proliferation financing, develops national action plans, and coordinates Belize's participation in international AML, CFT, CPF efforts. NAMLC comprises Belize's key regulatory, prosecutorial, and law enforcement agencies. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Monday, February 23rd, here on CTV3 News and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember to read a text version of the news. You can visit our website at www.ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/CTV3BelizeNews or our YouTube channel at CTV3 News BZ. From all of us here at CTV3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Have a safe and pleasant weekend, and have a splendid night.